Welcome to the Stone Collective podcast, everybody. My name's Caleb.
And my name is Zach.
How are you guys doing today? First thing we're gonna do is light off this fucking little log we got.
Fat McDoinkster. So, what strain is this that you're poisoning me with today?
This is called Grease Monkey. It's an indica. I can't remember what Google said it was fucking crossed with, but it's an indica.
And luckily nowadays with technology, I just kind of freaked out earlier. Hey Google, what type of strain is Grease Monkey?
Indica. On the website greensativa.com, they say, Grease Monkey is considered an indica-dominant hybrid strain originally grown by Exotic Genetics. Generally, it's considered to contain around 70% indica and 30% sativa. People also ask me, how strong is Grease Monkey strain? Want to hear the answer?
Sure.
On the website greensativa.com.
We fucking broke my Google.
It's that strong?
Yeah, alright, bud. Well, anyway, this channel is going to kind of touch on mental health a little bit, a lot, kind of, sort of, because there's a lot of crazy stuff going on in the world right now, and that's what we're going to be about. We're going to be talking shit about current events, things like that. So if you're into that kind of fucking content, just like and subscribe, hit that bell so you can be first to know when we upload.
Pretty much it's like, if you were to be sitting at home, right, with your homeboy, say you got off work, go back in time. That 70s show. Got a couple of friends sitting around, smoking a few doinks. What did you used to talk about? What did you guys discuss? Well,
that's kind of what we're going to be about. We're just going to we're going to try to stay out of left field as much as possible, but it might get out there. The mental health part is going to be there's a lot of school shootings going on. I know it's been years and years of shit going on like that, but it's because of untreated mental health. And untreated mental health in like your grandparents and your parents. It doesn't even have to stem from the kid. Everybody asks about the parents, where were they at? They were probably there the whole time, feeding them this bullshit fucking energy to go in and shoot up these churches with racist fucking energy. So you kind of got to go back further and start with like how was their father raised and how was their grandfather raised, because it's generational bullshit that they were fed over and over and over and over. So I always didn't like the thought of being on medication, being all fucking drugged up just to act normal. I kind of thought people should just accept you kind of the way you are. But I realized when I got married and had 2 children, that doesn't work. Because when you're by yourself, it's easy to make excuses with the depression and call yourself an introvert and give yourself a fake label that everybody else on social media is giving you. It's not cool. It's not good to be in your house all the time on your fucking cell phone. I got on medication and now I have 6 different jobs. One of them's right behind us. I'm the owner and CEO, founder of the Stone Collective Supply Company, as per the name Stone Collective Podcast. I own a cleaning service with the LL. I'm licensed and insured. I got concrete job with my buddy that owns a concrete business. I run a mow route for my buddy that has a landscaping. I make siding as a full-time job. I make vinyl siding. So there's all kinds of different things to get you out of your house and making money is going to make you happier. I don't care what people say. Money makes you happy. It can buy happiness. It can buy you the things. It can buy you vacations. It can buy you time by yourself or with your loved ones, at the fucking beach.
Not only that, but if you go back to, I know a lot of people might be a little bit younger, so for the older ones that remember Columbine, so that was pretty much one of the most publicized school shootings that happened in the early 90s. What it all boils down to is pretty much listening. If people would have listened to what these young men had to say, there would have been a lot of things that would have been prevented. Nowadays, the social media is one of the key factors that really drives these kids to doing these things, along with seeing all this stuff happening. You got to think, just because someone might not be going through what you're going through doesn't mean that they're not going through their own issues. You know, the things that people say on a daily basis on the internet has an effect. It has a strong effect. It might be smiles on this end of it, but on the other end, you know what I'm saying, there's going to be hella frowny faces because people prey upon stuff like that. And whenever these things happen, you gotta look, well, how could we have prevented? There was actually an interview that they did with Marilyn Manson I just watched the other day, and they were bringing up the subject. The reason being is because these kids listen to Marilyn Manson a lot, and they'd asked him, if the gentleman were in front of you, what would you ask them? He said, I wouldn't ask them anything. I'd be silent and see what they had to say. Do you get what I'm saying? These men were influenced by this individual, but it wasn't because of his music. Just because someone may look this way doesn't mean that the agenda that might be on your mind is actually the intentions that they have. You know, whenever you have a society that preys on the weak, it preys on the gore and the grotesque. You know, people only want to see negativity, and the mental health on each and every single one of you is different. You know what I'm saying? Some people are introverts, some people are happy around a bunch of people. You know what I'm saying? I did some prison time, and I've seen a lot of people that had been in solitary confinement lose their mind. Your mind is a very, very powerful thing, but it's very, very weak. You may not know it's going, but the only thing that you can do is try to be uplifting, not only toward yourself, but toward another individual, because I may not know what he's going through. So if I say something crazy to him, I don't know how he's going to react. You know what I'm saying? I feel like the world needs more peace and love. At the end of the day, this Black Lives Matter movement, you know, it's been coming out in the public that, you know, the founder, some of these monies that were acquired, at the end of the day, it never went back into the community. You know, $30-40 million, where did it go? It didn't go into these communities that they were rallying around. It was going into these relatives' pockets for absurd reasons. You know what I'm saying? All lives matter. Fuck Black Lives Matter. All lives matter. I mean, that's just my opinion.
And we're not saying that to kind of take away from the oppression that black people have suffered for years.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, we have a white generated justice system that's kind of fucked up, and we have cops that profile people all the fucking time. In my town, it really doesn't happen that often. It does to more homeless people than it would a black person per se, but and I live in a very country ass fucking state. You know what I mean?
Martinsburg, West Virginia.
Yep.
By God, come on vacation, leave on probation.
You might even end up with a heroin addiction. Who knows? But demographics are different. If you look on the news and you're judging all these gangbangers that are going to prison or whatnot, you don't know how they were raised. I've been all over the fucking world. Everybody is raised different. This town is nothing like the next town, even in West Virginia. I mean, they got their own set of problems. Like, you go to Atlanta, there's a place in Columbus, Georgia. I don't know if you've ever heard of it or not, but they call it Columbus. Like, you could go buy a new pair of Jordans at a fucking Foot Locker and die just because you bought them shits and somebody else wants them. Because these people are left out of the benefits that even we receive out here. Like the food stamps, you guys might think that welfare and welfare this and welfare that, but that's how it's a generational thing, and it's getting broken. These people are breaking out of their generational bullcrap because they, you know what I mean? I don't know, they got to take shit into their own hands because they're not really getting the assistance that other people get. You know what I'm saying? Like their apartments are just fucking ridden with roaches, and they don't have the jobs that we have, and if they are, I mean, they're working them. And you got people walking around fucking selling crack and toting a gun, and they have no dad, or they have no real family life because their parents are working, just trying to survive. And they got these big homies that are like, come on, little bro, you know what I mean? Here, hit this, fucking, hit the 40. Here's a blicky, that type of shit. Like, that'll suck you in, and then next thing you know, you're popping somebody in the head because your big homie told you to go do it.
That's all you know. At the end of the day, you're a product of your environment. To people that may not have grown up in the streets, me personally, I've never grown up in the streets, to be honest with you. I lived in the suburbs my whole life. I did get in trouble and end up doing some time, but to ones that are on the outside looking in, you can't judge the next person because they may not have been raised like you. They may not have had the same opportunities as you. For me, being black and being around people that are racist, right? Sometimes that's all they know. There's individuals that in their whole town, there's no colored individuals, and that's how they live. They know no other way. So when they're now around these individuals, it's a culture shock because they have no other way. I personally cannot judge them if they go forward now being around these people and know that they're just like them. There's no fault in that. But from an individual looking into the inner city where selling crack is the only way, or selling heroin, or selling weed, or selling whatever it may be, just so that you can live because you cannot get a job, sometimes that's all that there is for them too. And at the end of the day, if they chose that route and if they get in trouble, that's on them. Is it affecting you in your life? Absolutely not. Unless it's something that involves you, where it's carried over and somehow involves your life, then yes, you may have a reason to feel some type of way. But if not, from the outside looking in, from a camera, seeing it on the news, if it's not affecting your life, there's no reason to down somebody because they may not have lived maybe like you did, People judge too quickly.
Yep. And I mean, you gotta give the cops a break, and you gotta give the gangbangers a break, because you gotta take every situation with a mental health precaution. Sending just a social worker to the environment, sending a social worker to the dangerous environment they might be showing up to isn't probably the best idea, but send them with a cop, maybe send them with 2 cops, 3 cops, whatever you want to do to make sure that the social worker is protected, but use them as a line of defense first, because when you have a bank robbery, the cops don't just go busting in the fucking door. They send what do you fucking call them? A negotiator to try to make a deal, see if they can soften the situation. Why can't you do that in every aspect of everything? You know what I'm saying? So, like, I don't know. Just give everybody a break. You don't know what people are going through.
There's so many situations that I've seen in the news where there'll be individuals out in public, right? Mostly a lot at gas stations. Someone ends up walking in the door and bumps into somebody, or someone's at the counter and steps on someone's shoes, or someone feels like they looked at someone wrong. You don't know what someone's going through. You don't know what they're thinking. You don't know if they're intoxicated. You don't know what's going on. If the first thing that comes out your mouth is something negative, if this person's already looking for it, how many shootings have we seen in the news where there'll be people coming out of the store, get bumped, say something wrong, and just out the blue someone gets shot? People aren't thinking in long term. They're not understanding the consequences that happens when something like this happens. For one, you're taking a life. For two, now your life is gone, because either you're going to get killed in the long run, or you're going to go into prison for the rest of your life for taking a life. And then now the families are devastated, along with now your family, because you're gone from their life also. It's this world, if you look in social media and just out in general, why is it that only the news is all negative stuff? You know what I'm saying? Have you ever noticed that it's just
They profit off of keeping the country divided.
drama?
They keep the country divided so that we can, just vote Republican or Democrat. They keep it divided so all these little stupid ass, bitch ass companies can, sell fuck Joe Biden t-shirts. This is no special weed. This is tobacco strain of the Marlboro Red region.
Of the Marlboro of the Marlboro's Redless. This is the Newportus.
The Newportus Redis.
Newportus Redis.
We're trying to quit. All right, don't judge us too hard.
I was always told never to quit.
If you guys want to leave comments below about how, if you want some advice, and maybe we can try to talk you through something that you're going through, that's fine. I'm setting up an email address that you guys, and we'll put it in the description. That way you can email anonymously or whatever, and just kind of that way it's kind of like texting, just talking to somebody. Getting a different perspective on things.
Until then, if you want to go over to Instagram, Instagram account's already set up. Stone Collective Supply Company over on Instagram. Got some pictures and stuff over there. Shit's booming.
Yep. We got new merch coming out, new manufacturing process on the way to get more quality and more quantity out the door. If you're watching this and I backed up on your order, it's coming. I'm sorry. We're having some technical difficulties with manufacturing at the current moment, but I have everybody listed and shirts are coming. We're going to be having hats come out soon, shorts for the summertime.
It's getting hot.
Yep.
It's getting hot. It's like 80, 89 right now, I do believe, here in Martinsburg. Ooh. Hot.
And we're kind of in the south, so it gets humid.
Sweaty boy.
Sweaty. Your videos we're gonna try to keep it kind of humorous. I know today was kind of more mental health introduction type deal, but that's been a pretty big deal lately, and we need to talk about it. Everybody needs to talk about it, and it's okay to talk about it over here at the Stone Collective. That's what we're all about. We're creating a family empire here. You know what I mean? We're a collective of stoners that just want the same thing. Just trying to chill out, watch YouTube, and relax.
Exactly. He told me he said something early to me about, you always hear most people at work, oh, I can't wait to get off to go drink a beer.
Right.
Right? But if someone were to come over to you.
Alright. Anyway, you were saying?
But if someone were to come over to you, right, and be like, I can't wait to get home to smoke a fat joint. You might look at them crazy, then the next day they might get drug tested and ask questions. It's always puzzled me, right? So in these states, okay, that has been legalized, if you're on medications, pills, right? With me being younger on sort of medications, right? It turned me into a zombie, to be honest with you. I just wasn't myself pretty much. And after getting off these medications and really thinking about what I needed to do, going the marijuana route, it actually really does calm me down. I was on Wellbutrin, Lexapro, Adderall, Busprar, clonazepam. I was on some medication, you know what I mean? I'm not on none of that shit. You know what I'm saying? I feel like marijuana, it helps. Obviously, it's been tested, proven. That's why it's being legalized in more states. But if something were to happen at work, and if you were to be drug tested, even if you have these cards, they're still going to fire you. So how is that fair? So Big Pharma can say these pills are good, but these pills have been proven for addiction. Not only that, but people overdose all the time. Not only just on pain medication, but on a lot of other medication. You know what I'm saying? And too much of psych medications can really set people off.
Not since the 90s. So, I mean, maybe in the 90s people were dying, but the reason why they were dying is because they were called wet cigarettes. And they were dipping them in LSD
Fucking
and
PCP
speed and all types of shit. I mean, it wasn't just marijuana, it was marijuana and the hard drug. So that will fuck with your heart. But anybody I see down here, they smoke a joint, they might get a little too high, but that's fine. Go to sleep. You'll be all right.
Sleep. Like, but the Adderall, whenever I was younger, when I was taking stuff, I was, 4th grade, 143 pounds. I started taking this Adderall, and I lost so much weight because I just stopped eating. I was a zombie. I was not myself. Back in the day, if you had a hyper kid, oh, they have ADD, they have ADHD, just because they're a kid. You know what I'm saying? Kids like running around. If you look back 90s and early 2000s, a lot of kids were prescribed ADHD, ADD medication, and they just zombied them out. You know what I'm saying? I stopped taking my meds.
Kids.
Yeah, I stopped taking them. I didn't like the way it was making me feel. You know what I'm saying? If you ever feel like there's something wrong, if you ever feel like there's help, don't be scared to ask. All right, there's always someone out there to talk to, and don't be afraid. Everyone's different, right? No one's gonna judge you. In life, that's just how it should be.
All we're going to do is try to talk it out as much as we can, but you can only lead a horse to water. You can't force them to drink.
It'll take time.
So we can give you the tools, but it's your responsibility to build back your better mental health. And one more thing I want to touch on, because we're running out of time, is your friends. If your friends are sitting at the house, their mama's house, daddy's house, or their girlfriend's house, and they're driving their girlfriend's car, and they're getting the food stamps and all that shit, done.
Gotta go.
Gotta go. If you want to be better, you gotta have better friends. All I've done for the last 5 years is change up my friend group. I have all types of entrepreneur friends, and they have gotten me to the business level that I am on. I am getting to a point now where I can almost quit my job. I never thought in a million years I'd be able to quit my job and just work for my fucking self. But you change your friend group, you know what I mean? We started, we used to kick it old school, but we started kicking it new school again, and he's a big reason why I'm even in front of the camera right now. You know what I mean? So jump over to the Instagram, Stone Collective Supply. That's Stone Collective Supply. And you can DM us over there if you want to buy a shirt. Buy a shirt. If you want to just talk, we'll talk to you. Just hit us up. Like I said, I'll be dropping the link in the description. We'll be dropping email soon that you can send us emails, talk to us about whatever's going on. If you want to get some advice on how to grow a business or whatever, if you want to talk to these people that I lost it.
You're good. You can always edit it out. All this can be edited out.
Yeah, but it's like completely gone.
Make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. Make sure if you need any help, go ahead over on Instagram. Like I said, Stone Collective Supply Company. Go ahead and hit us up. My man over here, we about to go up. All right. Appreciate you guys. Caleb, fucking love you.
Yep, love you too, bro.
All right.
We'll talk to you guys later.